Okay, to start with, you're going to want to plug everything in and do a basic site temporary. That's what you'll use the kickstand for. I'll show you in a second. All you're going to do is you're going to plug the short wire. It's going to go from the router. That's your router that comes with these systems. Short wire is going to come over and go into your power supply, which then gets plugged into the electrical outlet. Then you're going to have your long wire that goes to the dish itself. That is going to plug in on this side. Then once you have that connected, you'll go out to the dish and all you're looking for here is you're going to want to make sure you have a clear shot of the sky. I've already hit on a basic side in, so I know I'm going to be looking in this direction, but I want to show you what the screen looks like on my phone. You're going to want to download the Starlink app and have it installed, and when you plug in the Starlink, it's going to automatically connect to the open Wi-Fi on the dish. So like I've installed this app one time, and I just set it down and I'm automatically aligned. Here, let's double check that. Oh, that's pretty close. Alright. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. It's not perfect. But as you can see, there's a little square rectangle. Well, actually, it's dead on. So all you got to do is line it up in that rectangle. Now that rectangle won't show up right away. And I'm going to show you here in a second what it looks like if you're off. I didn't expect to just set it down and be right on it, but I can't do this. Can't show you in the sun, so I'm just going to move this a little bit and show you. Alignment. Okay. Oh, it's still showing me dead on. You gotta fix that. Oh, come on. Okay, so it took a second for me to get it back to where it wasn't aligned so that I could show you. Right down here, you're going to have an arrow. It's going to tell you which direction to move the dish. And in this case, I'm going to rotate it slightly to the right, and it'll get back into that rectangle. Now, I'm not going to do that right now. You already saw what it looks like once it's aligned. It's lined up perfectly inside that rectangle. The rectangle is kind of hard to see in this, but you'll be able to see it just fine on your phone. So now I'm going to go ahead and mount the dish. And in this particular case, what I'm going to use is a J-mount that came off of an old satellite dish. The idea with these is you want to mount them. If you mount it to a flat surface like I'm going to do, I'm going to mount to that fascia board. And then after I do, I'm going to level this pipe and then tighten down these bolts. Once that's level, then you just have to set the dish on top of it and aim it. Before you can do that, you'll have to remove the kickstand, which I'm going to do here in a moment, and I'll show you how to put the pipe adapter on. Okay, so when they show you this on their online videos, they make it look really easy to take this out, and it's not hard. But don't be intimidated. If it feels like it's harder than it should be, it's a lot stronger than it looks. What you want to do is you want to lift up on the back here. There's some little tabs here that's catching on. And it just pops out. Then so this is the pipe adapter that I have linked through my Amazon affiliate down below. And I do make a small commission anytime somebody uses one of those links, assuming that it's a qualifying purchase. So this particular pipe adapter, before you put it in, you're going to want to plug the wire in. And the way you do that is you're going to want to route the wire through here to there. Then you're going to plug it in. You want the little nipple up high. And you just push that in until you hear a click. And then you just take your pipe adapter. And you're just going to slide it in until you hear a click. Now that's ready to go. Then you're going to need your bolts that hold it tight on the pole. You're going to want to tighten these down a little bit at a time so that you have the same amount grabbing on all three sides. I'm going to use the longest ones they have here because I have a 1 5/8 inch pipe that I'm going to be mounting it to, and this pipe adapter is designed for anything up to 2 3/8. So you get your little hex fitting on one side of these, so you want to make sure that's the part facing out. Just basically get them started. This little hex spots are a little difficult to recognize, so I strongly recommend using the tool to make sure you're putting the right side in. Otherwise you'll tighten it down part of the way with your fingers, and you'll get to a certain point where you're like, oh darn, I gotta take it back out. So I'm gonna get these in place and then I'll come back to the next one. Alright, now I knew this was going to be a little difficult to do with one hand, so that's why I decided to wait until I got this started before I started recording. As you can see here, I started off by putting just the top center bolt in. I did that primarily so that I could then level this all off. You're going to want a 7/16 wrench. You're going to raise the pole up like this. Use a small bolt level or what have you on top of the pole to make sure you're level, and then tighten it down. Okay, before I level this pole, I wanted to show you, since the fascia board wasn't wide enough for me to be able to get the bottom bolts in, I drilled a hole right in the center almost, just to be able to fasten the bottom as well. And I have 3 across the top. So this type of dish doesn't take nearly the type of impact that a parabolic dish would. You know, your typical old Dish Network, DirecTV, Viasat. Those are a lot more susceptible to high winds. These are not. Okay, once your pole is level and plumb, you'll be able to proceed to the next part, which is to set the dish on top, do your final adjustment, lock it down in place, and you'll have your permanent installation of the dish done, and then you'll just want to run the wire. Now, most houses are going to have one of these poles, whether it's from an old Dish Network, an old DirecTV. This pipe adapter that I've recommended will go all the way up to the larger dishes as well. If you have a Viasat on your roof or somewhere located on your house, you can just take that dish off that post. The post should be level, provided that the last person installed theirs correctly. And so long as that post is level, you can just set this dish on top of there and tighten it down accordingly. Now, this little gadget is something I thought anybody that does it professionally for a living could find this to be extremely handy. I've had it sitting around my house for several years. Didn't know what I could use it for. Well, lo and behold, there you go. Now you can grab the handle, roll it around to wherever part of the yard you think you might want it in. What's nice about this is if you are doing it professionally and you don't have a pole and concrete to put in the ground that day, but you want to go ahead and get them on the internet and get it working, you can throw a sandbag over the front, a couple sandbags on the handle, and you can leave a temporary install for the time being. All that is the base from a concrete mixer. So really handy if you do this all the time. It'll help you kind of, you know, roll around and find a spot you want to put it if you're going to put it in the yard. Or even if you're just trying to find out approximately where to point the dish. As you can see, you know, I have an idea of where I got to look because of this. So just wanted to share that little tidbit. Now, once you've run your wire accordingly, and I hid mine behind that J channel there and came over to the window, I'm going to be coming in right below that window. I recommend using a grommet for the outside. You're going to want to drill a 3/4 inch hole. I'm going to have to fabricate this a little bit for the wire to go through. And I like these wall plates for the inside. Got a little bit of crud on that. But you also have to fabricate that a little bit. So on the wall plate, basically you're just going to cut that little lip off at the front. That gives you enough wire to be enough room to get the wire through. On the grommet, you want to clip all the way down on the back and then down on one side, which is where I'll put this near the bottom. And I put silicone around it and push the wire through.